It's out of control. The heat wave, 150, 115. You have to measure it: temperature, the humidity, and the heat index. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to get the real total. And I don't want to sweat. I took back my spot cooler or air conditioner. It was rated at misleading 8,000 BTU. You know, I told the operator there at Big A. Okay. So, but they took it back. They had no. It's now cooling the room. What? I can't keep that. I mean, why should I keep it? I got it cheap too. I think I paid $159 for that. It's really cheap. It said 8,000 BTU, but it was really 5,100 BTU. Supposed to do 350 square foot, but no, not that. That's really 150 square foot. Okay. But again, what that is, the problem with that kind of a system is it's small. It's like around here. That's pretty much how tall it is. Okay, nice glossy top. Actually had a built-in thermostat, you know, so it could tell you the room temperature, and the room temperature was 88 to 90. How long did it take to cool the room down with that kind of a unit? Because it's rated at 6.5 EER. Or they call it CEER. That's gonna cost $100 a month to run something like that. My bill is high, over 400. That's a lot, almost 5. It's crazy. My central air conditioner, I mentioned it went down last year. Okay, I bought it brand new in 2011. I told the guy I want the best one you got. You know, money wasn't no limit. You know, I got a Carrier, and I had, you know, you hope that it goes well. You know, after what, 3 months in, the air handler fan died on me. They couldn't tell me why it went dead, so we had to replace it. $350 to replace that. Always vibrate when it starts, so that means it's not balanced. But and then, what is it? 2026, 2018, or 2023, it stopped working. The air handler. I said, "Holy cow! What the heck? What am I gonna do now?" The motor went dead. Why the motor's going dead? Can never get a straight answer. Nobody knows. It's a secret. But it's a motor, right? Well, why don't we just add oil to it? Well, you can't just add any oil to it. 100% synthetic oil. Same one you put in your vehicle. 020W or something like that. Or, no, 030W. I think that's what I put in. I don't know. Whatever's left over, it's out there. It works. It fired right back up. But I have to take the whole unit out. Take it apart. Because it has a variable on it. So I have to get the oil right where it's supposed to go. Well saturated. Waited, you know, an hour or two before I hooked everything back up. Plugged it back up. It came on. No problems. And it worked like that for a long time. Until last year, it stopped working. I changed out the capacitor. You know, those go bad. You know, still fires up, but there's no cold air coming out. So it's either two things: we got a seize compressor, or we got a leak in the coil. The coil's out there starting to deteriorate because I'm not too far from the beach, so it just the air has too much salt and can deteriorate the coils. Even if you put it in the back, it's still gonna have it's in the air. So I didn't feel like spending. I paid what, almost $4,000 for what's out there, and that was back in 2011. Price has gone up. So I said, what can I do? We can't put regular units in the window. You know, remember the old window units? It was big. You just stick it in the window. You can't put that. Not allowed. You got HOA. There's no way with them. So I got portables. Well, didn't think anything about the portables would be a problem. So I got a 14,000 BTU, which was really running at 10,000, and got a 12,000 BTU, which was really running at 8,000. And these were blowing strong air and everything. The 14,000 had the evaporator in there. There wasn't an inverter. Okay, inverter would use another hose. That's the big hottest selling item today. We'll get into that in a bit. So the other one was in there. It stopped working. It stopped. It's getting that full. Wait a minute, how would it get filled? It was getting filled up. So Big A gave me a refund. The AI said, well, we don't want to send it back. We'll give you money. They kept on giving me $107 to keep it. I kept it until this year it started to flood up the room with condensed water. So I said, what can I do? I put it in a tray, but that filled up with liquid. And I use a hydraulic pump that's 95 liter, and I pumped it out. And that's all right. That use those for changing your oil. So when you go to change your oil, you just take out the dipstick and you stick this in there, and you just, and it comes all out and goes into this 95 liter. And you say, gee, what about the oil filter? Well, then you have to take the pan and jack up my oil. In my other vehicle, the one that got totaled, it was near the wheel, passenger wheel. Now I could take off the passenger wheel to take off the oil filter, which was a pain in the neck. But I got it off and I changed it that way. I put something that would last, I said 20 years. I don't know, some weird, 20,000 miles. I mean, that's what. So I put that on. I put a frame. It worked. No problem. I tried everything. I've tried the Bosch. They're all pretty much the same. Anyway, that's how I changed oil. And I changed transmission fluid the same way. Take out the dipstick for the transmission fluid, pop it down there, and pump it all out. Put new, fresh transmission fluid. I use the dealer's, not the dealer, but the manufacturer's own transmission fluid. All that worked. I even changed the power steering pump the same way too. I put the dipstick thing down, I pump out. Even changed the coolant out too that way too. Put it in there. There's a special tube. Pump it out. Put it in there. It did the brake fluid too the same way. Put it in there. Pump it all out, and let's refill it. Everything okay. But here we got this problem. So I had to pump out. I was getting tired every day. I had to go pump out 95 liter of condensed water. That's a lot of condensed water. So I said, there must be a better way. Hey, I'll just run it into a 7-quart oil dripper pan, and then I got a pump for it to pump it out automatically. I even did a video on my tech channel. Just look for Drain Hub, and you'll see those. Drain Hub number 1, number 2, number 3. 3 is different. Now we have Drain Hub number 5, where everything goes in. We have the bottom, the condensed water, and the dehumidifier, because those two are on. Yeah, you didn't know that. Yeah, they're running. If no water is coming out of that dehumidifier, no liquid condensed water, that means something's fried in the motherboard, and that's what I had. I had a unit. I had two of these 10,000s running at 10,200 BTU. I replaced it in the ones that we got our money back from Big A. Okay, I did. They just give it to me. So you can do anything you want with it, because they don't want it back. But see, they sold it and they shipped it, right? So who's responsible? But anyway, I shouldn't have put them out in the front, because people took them like that. Because one guy said, "Hey, thanks for putting those out. We make $300." Well, okay, well, I made money back. I get my money back. There's no way I don't have no pickup truck. I should get one. And then you can just haul these things away and get money on the compressor, and you can get money on the metal. And inside there, that's a whole complete air conditioning system inside those things. Anyway, we got 2 others. They were rated at 14,000 BTU. They were really working at 10,200, and we ran those. And I noticed there was one of them was making noise. Well, they came off the UPS truck, and I said, "Wait a minute! I don't like to take anything that's damaged." I used to work for both companies, UPS and FedEx. Not at the same time, but So we have these little slogans. If you want your packages to arrive damaged, that's what the I shouldn't tell you about that one. Yeah, and then the other one, if you want your packages not to show up, yeah, like that. But that's the slogans with those two. Anyway, yeah, I could tell you some stories about both of those companies, but that's another story. But what I'm saying is now, if they come to your house, check the box. If it's brown or looks moldy, that means it's been in flood. You gotta be careful. You gotta check that out. You gotta take pictures and let Big A know right away. But you understand, you're hot, you're tired, you've been waiting for these to come. Why did it take so long? Why do you have to wait a week from the time you order? They should come the next day. It's crazy, isn't it? But okay, so we have these running. One was in the living room, one was in there. They sent me the exact same model because I ordered two different models. They got in their head in Kentucky there. They said, hey, we're Big A in the distributing center. We sent him two of the same model. So two came off the truck. I put them up, hooked them up, got them all going. The one that was in here, I'm in the living room. Yeah, that's where I am right now. Something was wrong with it. It wasn't cooling properly. It wasn't dehumidifying. I took off the dehumidifier plug in the back because I had it hooked up to my drain plug. Dry as a bell. When we first got it, it was working. And the thing was shooting out the water outside. Right? From the hub. That's how it does. Then all of a sudden it stopped doing it. It's fried. I had another fried board. The other one, down there in the dining room, in the sliding door. One is hooked up to the sliding door, the patio. You had to get an interface for that because none of these come with these kind of interface for the patio. But anyway, it got that working. And it's fluttering. When they have a louver, it goes up and down like this. It goes, and you can hear it. I did a video on it. It's on my tech channel, Abba's Voice Tech. Check it out. It goes like this. I can't stand that. So we had to send them back. And plus the electric bill, again, over $400, almost $500. That's crazy. Because those two are not saving any energy. They're using a lot of energy. Like the one in the room there in the studio, it was rated at 6.5. That means I'm going to be spending $100 a month. It took almost 1 to 2 hours to cool, right? It's such a small unit and it takes a long time to cool. And it's only cooling one little area. Where we aim it, that's where it is. I did the paper test. Do I have a piece of paper here? I guess I don't have it. So because a lot of people don't show the paper test. You take an 8x10 and you hang it and you see how far it blows strong, but warm air come out of it. You have to wait. But it can't cool in ceiling. It can only cool, it's a 10x10. It's supposed to do 150. Why can't it do it? And they're misleading on the package what it is. I told them, Big A, how you have it mislated? You should change it. They don't change it. They don't do. Nobody does nothing. So there's so many of these units out there like that. It's a shame. Put it what it is. So what did I do? So in here we have an inverter. We had another one in this room. It was made by another company, a company that's reliable. Let's put it that way. A company that's all over the place. They make refrigerators. They make everything. They make the air conditioning, not like the others. That is I just started a business and I don't make the air conditioning. I just have another company do it, and the company just grab parts from the shelf and just put it in there, and you don't know how long it's that. Those units don't last long. But anyway, this one, like this one in here is a colder air conditioner. Colder means it blows cold air. The inverters, they're cold. They had the two tubes coming out. Boy, it was a pain in the neck to put this thing up because I already know how to do it. I've done so many. So far, I've done like 5 of these things already. It's 5 or 6 of them. Yeah. So I wanted to build it around my drain hub. Right? I have a drain hub. It's pretty big, and it's enough to fit back there. You have 1, 2, 3. You have about 3 hoses going into it. Dehumidifier and condensed water. No matter what they tell you, you still have to drain that stuff. I don't want to take this apart, take off the hoses, run it to the door, and peel it out there. Or take the hydraulic pump it out, where you can do in the drain. And when it fills up, it automatically squirts out the window. I mean, if you walk past and it might squirt at you. But hey, those are the kind of risks. But I try to aim it downward and stuff like that. But But anyway, what I'm saying is this. This is the chaos you got to live in it because of the heat. Okay? You can't go outside now. Right now, it's too hot. We have heat advisories not to go. If I go out there, I start to catch on fire. I start sweating like crazy. It's unbearable. No matter what I'm wearing. Sometimes I put something like a headband over here on top of this to keep it. Yeah. But it's sweating out of control. Crazy. So I might as well stay in. Air conditioning in the car can't even keep up. It's so hot out there. One of the cats ran out. It's not crying because they didn't realize the asphalt is so hot. It's really bad. So you stay in the house. And this is how it is. This is what's changed in 2026. Last year, we had some changes, but it wasn't like this with the heat. The heat's really bad this year. It's bad. It's not only here, though. It's the whole place. All the states, even Europe, they're not prepared for it, what we go through. The window units, if you're allowed to put a window unit, if you live out someplace in the boonies and nobody's caring, you can put a window in, and they're cheap, the window units, you know. Get smart, then you can use your app on your phone. I could control the living room, the dining room, the master bedroom. What I want to do now is get another inverter, 10,000. It says 13,000. That's a lot of money for it too. We're not talking about pennies here. Same brand. This one's big. This is the biggest one we got in the house. This is 12,000. 10,000 there, dual. Because what the dual does, it doesn't put that hot air back in. But I don't know. You'll notice it in humidity. It was really humid in the house. You know, I have these set to. At night I'll bring them down to 68, but I usually have them at 65. Now you're saying, "Wow, 65? That's pretty low." But I have to do it to balance out the airflow, so you feel comfortable. But I only keep one of these on at night in here. You don't have to run the dining room. The dining room takes care of the dining room and the dining room and the kitchen. Okay. But this one by itself can't do it. If the humidity is low, it could do it. But if the humidity is high and the temperature outside is over 100, it's not going to be able to do it. Then none of them kind of do. My goal is to have like a 360. So you have 3 of these. And then the one in the back. So you have 2 8,000s, 10, 12,000, right? And 10,000. Right there with the 10 and the 12, you're looking at 22,000 BTU. Then you have 216. It's a lot. That should be enough to cool. Because back in the day, a 24 BTU, well, some of them were plugged into the 240. That's the 240 volt is your dryer and your stove. Yeah. And that would cool the whole upstairs. It's a big unit too. Whew. It's heavy. 2 people have to lift that. There's no way one person can lift that. It's too big. It's bigger than your trunk of your car it's big. And those were expensive. But today the prices are out of control. And back in the early 2000s, you can get like a 8,000 BTU like for less than $50. You know? Everything's high and everything's coming from China. But some Chinese companies do make good quality. They make refrigerators and make good stuff. And that's the company you should go after, if you can find it. I can't mention names because I'm not sponsoring anybody. But this is what we have to use. And there's a remote control for this, but I use the app. So I control everything by the app. You can program it in the app to come on a certain time and you want it at the temperature you want it and let it run. And you have to run them all at the same temperature or they're not really going to come out right. Well, that's what I figured out. If for any updates, I'll let you know. But we're living in a chaos world now with this heat, and it's really bad. And since I've been using all of this, and my refrigerator went out last year, so we have 2 4.5s. We got them from the Big H store, and the Big H store manager said, "Hey, we give it one of them for free," because I bought 2 exact things where it would cost us $400. I only paid like less than $150. Yeah. So we got one for free. Yeah, you don't want to. Wasn't that nice of them? So they're cold. They keep everything cold. So you have two 4 cubic freezers, and at the bottom with the light. You know, the same thing. You go to Europe, you see people have those small ones. You got a small washing machine and dryer. We've been thinking about getting those too. I'm trying to look into that because I need the dryer one in the Fritz. And that dryer had everything. That dryer was hooked up to the hot water. It would steam. And if you have wrinkled shirts, just throw it in there. And you guys who don't like to iron, I know I don't like to do it, but you have to go to a meeting or an interview. You throw it in there, 2 to 5 minutes. They're ironed. You're ready to go. That's what it does. And it's also steam cleans it too. But it stopped working. It took out 99.9% and kills the germs. Now the washing machine is going like this. It's going out of control. I'm not kidding. It's grinding the gears. That's a shame. And do we need gigantic 41 cubic feet washing machine? Do we? I think it's 41. I think it's 42. I think it's 4.1. That's pretty huge, and it has no agitator, because they figure it would use less water. Because a regular washing machine would use 14 gallons of water, and these new ones only use like 4 or 5 gallons of water, like that. And the dryer, the same thing too. It's all stainless steel drum, so you want that. So, now you can get little minis. You gotta be careful with the mini. The mini is only one cold hookup, right? And it plugs into the 120. But it also has, somebody's using the side. It also has built-in dryer, so it washes the clothes. It's a small thing. We're not talking about big thing, because ours here in the United States is a huge drum. You look at 2,000 or 15 if you go to the warehouse. You get all in one unit, but some of them have 2 units connected to one. But this one, everything is in one. I don't know. They want $1,000 for that one. Woo! Same company that makes these air conditioners. That's a lot. But the way it's set up, I think all you need is a dryer vent. I don't have it, so I can't really talk about it. But I see that it's just one hookup in the back of water. So the hot water heat pump makes the hot water get hot. Or they could be using a coil. But why would they go old school? I don't know. It's kind of hard to get it like that. You're so used to the major brands. And you hate to variation off. And some people go with SKs. I'm not going with too much problems with those things. But you know already. I don't have to tell you. You live in a chaotic world. That's all I have to say. All right. That's it.